guys, I'm back. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some news that came out today about the online multiplayer, as well as touch a little more on the last video I made about the lack of track bar adjustment during racing and people's reaction to it. Uh, First, I want to touch. Let me get into the little bit into the track bar thing. I predicted in that video that there were going to be the same people that always come out. It's just their first game. What are you complaining about? Get a life. These are the comments you get from these people that are always excusing everything that these developers sell to you. And for the life of me, I'll just never understand why you feel such a need to defend every single thing developers do. It's My criticism isn't going to stop you from enjoying your game. If you like a product, if I like a product, I enjoy it. I don't care if who likes it or not or doesn't like it. If I enjoy playing certain games, whether it's NBA 2K or Grand Theft Auto or Max Payne 3, whatever the case is, if I enjoy those games, do you think that I spend time worrying about who doesn't like that game or who criticizes that game online? I don't, because I'm too busy enjoying the game. I don't understand this need to come out and just denounce everybody who dares criticize something about a game. Furthermore, I've been more than fair. I've been more than fair with DMR and the information that's been released. I haven't talked about gameplay, okay, and I haven't talked about the AI because I haven't seen anything about it enough for me to criticize it or to praise it. So if I was just here to bash DMR, I would certainly delve into all those things, but I'm not doing that. I've also made it very clear that I believe DMR has the best of intentions. They care about this series. They want to produce a great product. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that that's their intention. But the minute that I dare criticize something that has been released as information, you guys start crying. Oh, how dare you criticize them? It's just their first game. That's a ridiculous argument. The same people that keep telling you how it's just their first game are the same people who remind you that these are the people that created Heat. These guys they're definitely going to create a great game because they made that game. So which is it? It's their first game, or are they great developers who already know how to make good NASCAR games because they did it 10 years ago? You can't have it both ways. And this is the ridiculous argument people do put up all the time. They want to have it both ways. They want to defend these guys by saying it's just their first time, they're a small developer, they don't have resources. They give you all these excuses. But at the same time, they want to remind you it's going to be great because they're monster games. These are the guys that did Heat. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't have it both ways. And if you're going to remind me that these guys created Heat, then how can you defend the lack of a track bar adjustment during a race? And if you're a NASCAR fan, I have to question how much you follow the sport, understand about racing, stock car racing, and if you're going to at the same time tell people how it's not a big deal, it's not important to be able to adjust the track bar during a race. You're full of shit. And I don't really care if you like my opinion or not. You can come, you can dislike, you can say whatever. I don't care. This is my opinion, and I stand behind what I say because I go out of my way to be fair. I don't talk about the AI. I haven't talked about gameplay because I don't know anything about it. One time I mentioned AI was the first video for this series that I said the initial footage that was shown, it looked like the AI started spreading out after a lap or two, which was good. I was actually praising what I saw, but I still kept it at a minimum. Because I don't want to go crazy when I'm praising them. Just like I am not going crazy in my critique. I was very fair and very straight to the point. And I don't care what anyone says. You're full of shit. If you want to tell me that track bar adjustment during a race is not important. Okay? And even games that EA put out that didn't have that adjustment, what they had was a sliding scale, loose to tight. And it worked pretty decent for what it was. So, to keep excusing the lack of content or features that were part of games from many years ago on inferior hardware, if you want to keep excusing that, then I don't take you serious. You're just here to defend DMR no matter what they do, the same way you probably defended your Technics. And every year is the same thing. It's just their first game. It's just their second game. It's just their third game. Why are you complaining? Get a life. All of this stuff. Oh, look at... Why do you even watch these videos if it bothers you so much? Don't watch my videos. Just don't worry about my opinion. It's not going to affect whether you enjoy the game or not. But I'm just calling it as I see it. And even when I'm doing that, I'm very restrained. So that information came out. I addressed it. It is what it is. And I notice people that they'll criticize, but then once they see how people react, they pull back and they're like, oh, now I'm going to be really nice about the game because I'm getting a lot of people who don't like my opinion. Then you know what? Your opinion isn't worth anything. Okay? I am more than willing to change my opinion when I see something different. Again, I'm very supportive of DMR. I'm rooting for these guys. I'm a NASCAR fan. And I want to see a great game. But that doesn't mean I gotta bullshit people or ignore the fact that there's no track bar adjustment during a race. What the fuck is that? So first people were like, oh, graphics don't matter. Stop complaining about graphics. All that matters is gameplay. Well, now I'm talking about track bar adjustment, which is a huge part of gameplay, part of NASCAR racing. And unless you only run a few laps and that's all you're into, then really you shouldn't even have an opinion. What do you care? I'm talking about the most in-depth experience for the hardcore NASCAR fan who wants to get the most out of these games. Track bar adjustments, and you're going to excuse a developer for not putting that in there by saying, oh, it's just their first try? You guys are pathetic. That's all I got to say about the track bar thing. If you guys are willing to accept less, and every time there's a new game that things we used to get, when it's not part of the game, and just accept it, that's on you. But you're part of the reason that developers get away with this. Now, the DMR, I'm still grateful they're taking this on. I'm still rooting for them. I still believe they're trying their best. That doesn't mean that I have to zip it and not mention facts. This track bar thing is a big fucking deal. But just like everything else, you guys want to make excuses. So that's the end of that. Now, as for the online multiplayer, all I know is what they've been talking about, and what they said is they are shooting for 40 players online. I think that's amazing. And kudos to them for even trying to do it. Will they be successful in doing it? I don't know. That's a lot of cars. It's a full field. And we're talking about online racing. So if they can get 40 cars, kudos to them. I'll be the first to applaud them. And I'm even willing to say, this is one of those things where I am willing to say, you know what? If they can't get that to work, I'm going to be easy on them. Because that's called innovation. They're actually trying something new, something that's hard to do. And in that instance, I can be fair. And I can say, they're trying to do something innovative. They're pushing the envelope, which is all I can ask for at this point. The things that I'm really tough on them about are things that are inexcusable. Lack of content, features, things we used to get before. I'm not going to take it easy on them on that. So this is how I'm being fair. 40 cars online, man, if you could make that happen, kudos to you. But I don't even expect it to happen. But all you really need online racing is a glitch-free, stable experience. The rest of the experience is really up to you and the people you play with. It's one of the reasons that I've never really gotten into online racing in depth, because like I said before, the experience of online racing is sketchy. You're dealing with all kinds of people. There's always somebody there trying to troll people or wreck people on purpose, and it's just always a mess. But that's not the developer's fault. That's online racing. That's just part of online racing, and if you can find a room full of guys who are clean and really want a serious race, then I would assume that your experience is going to be good. So I can't get too deep into it because all we know so far is that, hey, you're going to have a 40-player lobby. At least that's what they're aiming for. And I can't ask for more than that. That's awesome. But even if they can't get 40, let's say they have to bring it down to less people, 32 players, whatever the case may be, I won't go nuts over it. Because you're trying to do something that's hard to do, and you're pushing the envelope. That's different. I can't be rough on them about that. They're trying. And I like that they're trying. But there are things, like I said before, about trackbar, paint booth, stuff like that. No excuse. I cannot take it easy on them. I can't excuse that stuff. And like I said before, this could be a solid game, but I'm not going to go crazy. I don't know anything about AI or gameplay yet, and until I see something or get really solid information on that, I won't talk about it. Isn't that fair? Am I not being fair to DMR? As far as I'm concerned, all my criticism up to this point has been fair. And even if you go back and look at my old videos about Eutechnics, I was always fair. So if you don't like what I'm saying, then that's on you. You're just being butthurt because you want to hear the best of everything. You want to be told how awesome the game is. You don't need me for that. You just got to go watch the videos put out by developers. Don't watch people's opinion videos. Just watch developer videos, because they're going to blow sunshine up your ass, and they're going to tell you how awesome everything is and how realistic. And then you wonder why when you finally play the game, you're like, this is nothing like I was being marketed to me. Well, no shit. That's marketing. This is the way developers do business. So I understand the business aspect of it, but there's a point where you have to call these people out. You got to keep them in check, keep them in line. And if you don't criticize things that should be criticized, you're going to continue to receive substandard games. And to me, when a game is giving you less than you used to get years ago on older consoles, there's no excuse for that. So, and again, like always, you will see in the comment section the same people screaming about, oh, all you do is complain, get a life, blah, 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 it's just their first try. Same thing like I predicted in the last video. Go look at the comment section. Exactly what I said. So, I don't know what you're afraid of. Do you think DMR is going to say, fuck this, we're not going to make a game now since you're complaining? They're not going to do that. What are you scared of? And why does my opinion have to ruin your experience? It has nothing to do with your experience. When the game comes out, buy it, play it, enjoy it. There are things I enjoy that other people don't like. games, movies, whatever the case may be. I don't let that affect my enjoyment of the game. That's all I'm going to say about it. What do you guys think about this online, the 40 players? I think it's awesome. I think it's great that they're even attempting it. And I'm leaving wiggle room that it might change. Maybe it won't be as stable and they may have to pare it down. Who knows? But the fact that they're trying this, they're attempting this, kudos to them. I have nothing but praise for the attempt. And even if they can't get it done as advertised, I'm willing to give them some wiggle room to say, you know what, I get it, I understand, but they're allowed to fail if they're being innovative, if they're trying new things, if they're pushing the envelope. To me, that is innovative. If you're really gonna try to get 40 players in a lobby, even though personally I think I'll be shocked if anyone can ever get a full race with 40 guys and it be a great experience. But it has nothing to do with the developer. I'm just talking about people in general. Online racing is very unpredictable. But the fact is, all the developer needs to do is make sure it's stable and it runs without glitches, and everything else is really up to the rest of us. So, what do you guys think? And is there anybody out there, one last thing, who has changed their mind as far as criticism, where you used to defend them, and then you say, you know what, I can understand now to a certain point where, you know what, there are certain things that we should be keeping these developers honest about. Is there anyone who's changed their mind, or are you people who are upset about criticism, just no matter what they do, you're never going to find criticism of any kind acceptable? I was shocked. Well, I don't want to say I was shocked, because I predicted people would say these things, but really, trackbar, no trackbar adjustments during a race, and nobody has a problem with it. This is where we are today, because every year they're conditioning you to accept mediocrity, to the point where you are arguing with people online about whether or not they should criticize the game at all. What do you guys think? And it was good talking to you. And I think I was being pretty nice to DMR, especially about the online. So what do you guys think? And I'll look forward to your comments.